Yeah, thank you. Again, we are glad that we are here, and also it will be good exercising for Russians to speak some English. And I'm going to say just really a few words, not like previous time, but I took too much time, so perhaps it will be something about 4 minutes. And we expect people who prepared the talks beforehand to have about 10 minutes, and any spontaneous talk will be about, say, 5 minutes, not really more. We'll also have some new movies from Katya today. So what I was going to outline actually is some observations following from the speech on Tuesday, and mostly they are centered about Vygotsky's theories. One is we considered reasons why Russian mathematics school mathematics was really strong back 150 years ago and not really so strong today. And there is a hypothesis that it's associated with the same processes happening in other countries, in the United States, in Europe, and even we see something like this in East Asia now, in Korea, in China, etc. So what was said is that in authoritarian society, the school was working in accordance with the rules of the game of the society and of the family. So the society was authoritarian constructed, like in for example, in Russian Empire or in Stalin time in the Soviet Union, and even later. Family, again, Chinese family today, or to some extent European family 150 years ago, was also a lot authoritarian. And when this factor of accordance to society was ruined, then we have a problem with motivation in school. That's what's happened in post-totalitarian countries, in Russia, in Armenia present here, or in GDR. Yesterday we had a discussion on what's happening in German education, and it was a small discussion, and it looked like the level of mathematics in the formal exams or in Teams studies was higher in GDR after the unification of Germany, and then it was declining. And so what we need now, we need an alternative, a different approach. It's not the same like just discipline in school, authoritarian position of teacher, etc. So perhaps we need to include more national or international experience, and at the same time exploit the human capital existing in our countries, some of which again traces back to Russia, either in Russia itself or in the United States, in Germany and other countries where people came from Russia, as well as the former Soviet Union. What is important is not teaching to the test. It's not a proper motivation today. And we should find ways how to motivate children through the very work they are doing. And one more and last thing I would like to emphasize is that ICT plays an important role in our discussion because it actually implies new way of thinking, as again Vygotsky indicated some days ago. And also it provides new opportunities for productivity both for teachers and students. And these factors can be motivating enough to find our ways to have better education and especially more motivation for our children and even for our teachers. That's all I would like to say. And we have other talks, and perhaps Sergey will introduce next speaker. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
There is an opinion that it works so well in USSR because mathematics was just one of a few areas when a person could develop freely, because nobody could
Yes, it's a good point, and I agree that for some people over the Soviet time there was just among very few fields in which you can really, as you say, express yourself or do something important for yourself and perhaps for other people. Yeah, I myself consider again myself as that kind of person who, in that age, had this choice and chosen mathematics, mainly perhaps of the reason you indicated. So it's a good comment. Okay.